Oh, hello there. Just finishing up putting stickers here on the sunfish color of the pixie dust. Do my best to get all this out to you guys here pretty soon. I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors left to get all, labeled up and ready to go. So hopefully that launch will be coming, real soon. But today I figured, let's talk about a mold that I think is quite possibly the best shad imitator I've seen. Yeah, we're talking about the SlayBait and the brand new 3.3 inch model. We got some really cool colors we're going to show you how to make today too, and maybe we'll dig into some pixie dust. You never know. Stick around. What's going on, all my fellow bait chuckers out there? My name is Michael. Welcome back to the channel. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably already heard about the epic SlayBait. And if you haven't heard about it yet, well, today is your lucky day. The SlayBait is an amazing shad imitation profile, and now we have a whole variety of sizes that it comes in. And today we're going to be focused on the 3.3 version of the SlayBait. And I got to tell you, so far, the 3.3 is probably my favorite one out of the bunch. It's really pretty sweet. It has a reversible hook slot, which I think is awesome. So you can just flip that over, and it's small enough to where you can still fit a 4/0 beast hook in there or a swim bait hook, and then you can always flip it right back over if you want to run it as a jig trailer or with a treble head. Now I'm going to show you a couple different ways to rig this up today. There's some really cool ways to rig it up. We're going to show you all about the treble head line through technique. I'm completely in love with that right now, and some new jigs that I've come across and I'm starting to fall in love with. This makes an awesome swim bait trailer, an awesome compact spinnerbait trailer. The 3.3 of the SlayBait is very universal. I really like this small compact size. So I mean, what are we waiting for? Let's just get right into making some colors, huh? So recently, one of you left me a comment saying, Michael, we need some fresh new colors because things are getting a little bland out here. And you know what? I absolutely feel you. But today, we're going to do a color that comes to us from our friend Chris at Swamp Trout Baits. Now, this color does not have a name yet, so he's going to let us name it. It features onyxia in the belly. It's an awesome darker shad color with an amazing belly, red eyes. We're going to replicate this today because Chris was kind enough to not only share the recipe, but he's going to let us name it too. He doesn't really have a name for it yet. And considering onyxia is named after a dragon, and that's the kind of featured hollow shift in this belly, I mean, what better name than Swamp Dragon? So we're going to go ahead and throw the recipe up on the screen so you can follow along at home in your bait shop. So to make this color at home, you're only going to need one color and then a little bit of hollow shift powder and some glitter. In order to make the back of the Swamp Dragon, well, you're going to need some good old-fashioned black coloring. Now, you can use Dead On Plastics black or Lureworks black. I have tend to lean more towards the black 103 from Lureworks lately. I think it just blends with the hollow shift powders a little bit better. For the belly, we're obviously going to be using some hollow shift powder, and we're going to be using color HS616 Onyxia. Onyxia is a really cool hollow shift. You can see it goes from that pink to reddish orange to yellow and then to green on the extreme edges there. Awesome color. This is going to make for an amazing belly. And then to accent that onyxia, we have some gold holographic flake as well as 2 different sizes, small and medium, of black flake. And this is going to give us that amazing belly color that you saw. I can't wait to do this. I mean, this is my first time making this color myself, but I can't wait. So we are going to be shooting some laminates today, so we want to make sure we flip on our hot plate. We're going to not only make sure we warm up the mold, but we want to warm up the combination block as well. This is typically where most people run into issues, is by running into a cold blending block. So we want to make sure that is warm as well. I like to set my plate to 52 degrees Celsius. This warms up the mold and the blending block to where you can still handle them by bare hands without being too hot to burn you, but they are going to get pretty warm. So just, keep that in mind. But trust me, when doing laminates, this is going to help so much, especially having your blending block nice and warm. Highly, highly recommend. Fresh cup of plastisol right out of the microwave. And we're going to really focus on the belly color to start because, I mean, the back of it is just plain black, not really much to it. So let's start off with our Onyxia. And again, you can see that really cool kind of pink to orange to yellow-green color shift there. Such an awesome color. So we're going to end up using about 1/2 of a 16th of a teaspoon, or 1/32. So that should be plenty to give us coverage here in the belly. After mixing that in, you can see we have that Onyxia sitting in there. Beautiful aurora effect going on. Now we're not going to be adding any color to the belly because the reflection of the black from the back of the bait is actually going to darken things up and enhance this effect even more. So next we're going to go ahead and add in our holographic flake. He said he did a large dash, so again we're just going to go with like 1/2 of a 16th of a teaspoon. I think that should be plenty. And then a pinch of small black flake, as well as a pinch of large black flake. That was a big pinch. Let's take a look at that, mix that up, and see how we're looking here. Alright, it's already starting to set up, but you can see the belly that we got going on here. A really, really cool looking belly. Now we're going to run with this for now. We can always adjust the recipe after we do our first set of injections. But for right now, we got to get this reheated and into the vacuum chamber. It's starting to clump up pretty good. Okay, and with that warm up there, we should be good to go. I didn't really show you the mixing up of the black in the back because it is really just 30 drops of Lureworks black in there. So not really a whole lot to show on with building that color. But we're all lined up. We have our belly on the left, back on the right, like we like to do here. We will start at this side of the mold, belly to the left, back to the right. We will work our way over. And always remember, kids, don't forget the glove up. Okay, here we go. Swamp Dragon, injection number 1 into the 3.3 inch SlayBait. We're not going to need nearly all of this plastic, but you know. Alright, I think that was a successful injection. We are about to find out. Alright, you know we got to take a look at the blending block. This will hopefully give you an idea of what the belly's going to look like with that black backing. I really hope it's going to come out. I hope it's not too translucent. It's a pretty thin bait. We will see. Maybe we'll have to up the Onyxia powder, or maybe even put a drop of black in there. We'll see. But according to the recipe I was given, there is nothing in the belly. Look at those colors though. Oh, Onyxia is such a good hollow shift. Whew. Alright, let's let these cool off and see what the mold looks like. Alright, here we go. 3.3 inch SlayBait. Let's see if we can't get these to pop off all on the same side. That's always the goal, right? Here we go. Oh, look at that. Lord have mercy. I don't think we need to change a darn thing. Look at that. Whoa. Swamp Dragon, huh? I like that. Look at that. Even in that tiny bait. Wow. Look at that. Wow. Okay, that's a pretty awesome color. Now, do you see what happens there? How a lot of that Onyxia comes out because of the reflection of the black on the back. And there's nothing in the back. It's just a straight black. That's it. Now, these are solid body, so no need to put an eyeball on these. I wanted to get a couple runs of the solid bodies so I can use these for line throughs. And then I wanted to get a couple that have the hook slots in them. We'll put some eyeballs on them and we'll see what those look like. Yeah, just one real quick look at them again. Awesome how that Onyxia belly just reflects from that black in the back. That's cool stuff. Really cool stuff. Alright, let's take a look at the second set of injections here. See how these turned out. I mean, I would imagine they would be just as good as the first ones, and they are. Surprise, surprise. Look at that. Awesome stuff. That completes our set of solid bodies. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Swamp Dragon. Good stuff, Chris. Ooh, love it. And of course, you know, I couldn't hold off. I had to shoot it in the 4.3. I had to see what the larger version looked like. Uh-oh, air bubble in that one. Well, that one's ruined. Look at that one though, huh? Oh yeah, I just had to see it, okay? I just wanted to see what it looked like in a larger version. And of course, it looks awesome. Okay, so enough of that. Back to the 3.3. Alright, and last but not least with the Swamp Dragon color, here it is injected with the hook slots inserted, so we can get an idea of what that looks like. Oh yeah, looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. What I was curious about was, with the hook slot in here, it's going to be even thinner in the belly. So I wasn't sure how much of that was going to show through. It's definitely transparent with the hook slot in there. But we take that hook slot out, and oh yeah, it looks just like the solid body ones. But you know what? We need to top this off with a red eyeball. Yeah, a little bit of something just like that. Beautiful. There we go. The completed Swamp Dragon. That's a cool colorway. Do you think that'll catch some fish? I think it will. Look at that. Beautiful. Kind of orangish, red to yellow green. That gold hologram flake, speckles of the different size black flake in there. That red really pulls it all together on the eyeball. Good stuff. Swamp Dragon in the 3.3-inch SlayBait. Yeah. Alright, here we are. Fresh cup of plastisol. Let's start working on a second color. And I know that I promised you that we would take a look at some pixie dust and what that's all about. So, I'm a man of my word. Let's go in on some Junebug, huh? Junebug is a really cool kind of green to purple color shift. Now what's cool about the pixie dust is that it is borosilicate powder. Now we're going to make a solid color, so we're going to go with not one. Well, we'll do 1.5. We don't need to necessarily do a full 2. We can do 1.5 here, and we can kind of bump it up from there. But we're going to make a solid color of the pixie dust. It's borosilicate powder. So you got to keep in mind with borosilicate powder now, it's not going to be as clear and as translucent as hollow shift powder will be, okay? And you can already start to see in the plastic a little bit, it's starting to kind of fog up a little bit. It almost gives it a pearlized effect. So I would definitely treat the pixie dust more like a pearl powder. Okay, you can see it's not going to disappear completely like the hollow shift will, okay, the SiO2 powder, but it's going to still be relatively translucent. So this is going to be the back color here, okay, and we're going to add, let's go with 15 drops of black. You can go anywhere 15 to 20 drops of black. It gives us a nice solid back color there. I really like that. You can see some of that purple in there depending on the shift. It goes from green to a really cool purple. Awesome stuff. And we're just going to leave the back just like that. That is going to be our solid back color. I don't really want to add anything to it. We're just going to go with that green to purple. It's very similar to the Joker in the Hollow Shift lineup, but this is more of like a turquoisey green. I don't know how to really describe it. There's a lot more blue in this green than there is in the Joker, but really awesome color. I love the Junebug. You can see the purple on the edge of the knife there, and when we dip it in the water, these baits are going to look fantastic. So this is going to be the back. Let's get this vacuumed, and then we'll start work on the belly, and I got some really cool stuff I'm going to show you on the belly. All right, let's go in on another fresh cup of plastisol here for the belly. This is heated up and ready to go. We have the other one just kind of soaking in the vacuum chamber right now. So I figured we would start in on some crushed rupees. Now I'm just going to use the leftovers that I have in my sample bag here. Of course, when you grab it, it's going to be inside of a jar, just like everything else. But what's cool about the crushed rupees is these are also borosilicate based, but these are more like shards. So it's kind of like oversized glitter in a way. So again here, I'm going to go with maybe a little more than 1/16. And so very much like glitter, this is going to give us a really cool kind of reflective kind of shards. Every single piece is mismatched in there. There's not like, you know, even uniform sizes. I think you all can see that in there. In fact, I may go a little bit more. I think I want to do a little bit more in there. So let's just do a whole another scoop. So we ended up using 1/4. Again, treat the rupees very much like you would glitter. That's kind of the way I've treated the rupees. And yeah, there we go. All right, nice and full of glitter. Now to this, I want to add some highlight powder. Now, I'm going to suggest that you use violet highlight powder, but for me, again, I'm going in on a new unreleased product, so I'm not even going to show you the bag, but I have been working on my own highlight powders. So here we're going to go 1/16 of a teaspoon, okay, of violet highlight powder. All right. You can use LureWorks highlight, you can use MF highlight, that's fine. I'm using my own because I think it's pretty incredible. So there we go. Now you see what's happening here? We're starting to get that foggy, pearly look. We got the highlight powder mixed with those crushed rupees in there. Looking really good. And then the last kind of touch to set it off, we are just gonna put a dash, okay? Just a 1/2 not a whole lot, of some small silver holographic flake, okay? That's gonna add some sparkle here and there, and it's gonna look translucent. You're gonna think this, you know, kind of pearlized belly isn't going to play well off of the darker back, but trust me, it will. And similar to the swamp dragon earlier in the video, oh, will you look at that? Look at that color. This is why I love my own highlight powder for 8-bit, better than what's available on the market right now. Extremely high quality mica based highlight powder. Interference pearl if you really want to be exact with it, but the black that comes from the back color is really going to set off this belly when it's laminated, very similar to the swamp dragon. So we're going to reheat this up, get it in the vacuum chamber, and we will see you back here when we are ready to do some injection. We got both colors ready to go, belly on the left, back on the right. Let's get our blending block all set up for us here. Make sure we are all gloved up, and we are ready to go. Here from this angle you can really see the purple kind of coming out there. You see how you come at an angle and it goes from that turquoise green to that purple in there. That's awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. That's gonna look real good together, real good. All right, here we are. Let's take a look and see what this Junebug looks like. I think I called it Joker earlier by mistake. It looks just like the Joker, but it is the Junebug. And yeah, look at that, huh? We can get some proper lighting in here. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. You got the violet highlight on the belly. That Junebug color shift. Oh, we got a little bubbling right there on that one. Here, let's take this out so we can get a better look at the shift here. There we go. Take a look at that. Huh? Those are some tasty little morsels right there. That Junebug looking awesome in the top. I'll change the camera angles here in a second so you can witness the color shift. You can kind of see some of it there on the tail when we tilt it. Turns to almost a similar purple that's in the belly. Absolutely awesome stuff. Let me see if I can't get a better angle for you. Okay, here's a pretty decent shot here. You can see it's got the green, but then once we tilt it, you can see it turns to that purple on the top. It's got that deep purple hue to it. It looks like dark purple right there. It looks like dark purple to light purple in the belly. But then you flip it up and you see, nope, it's green. There you go. See, purple to green to purple. Yeah, awesome stuff. Really digging these brand new powders. Very cost effective. Very cost effective. A third of the cost of the hollow shift powders. It's unbelievable. Really happy so far. I hope all of you are going to enjoy these. Let's take a look at some other baits, huh? All right, let's take a look at the 3.3 in the Junebug colorway, but this time with hook slots. Can we get them all to pop out? No, sort of, maybe. You know. Would you look at that? Let me zoom in here for you. I know the glare off of these mirror finish molds, I tell you. There it is, that awesome belly. There's that very cool Junebug top. Look at that, huh? Almost kind of has a little trout vibe going on, huh? A little baby trout with that green and violet rolling through there. It turns completely purple on the extreme angles to the light with that top. Pretty snazzy, I'm telling you. These 3.3s, these are tasty little morsels. Absolutely love them. We need to get some eyeballs on these though. I think a silver eyeball will complement these best. What do you think? Maybe a little something like that, huh? I got some small little 5mm eyes, silver. I think that looks pretty good. That's a beautiful little shad bait profile, I'm telling you, with the thick belly and then this tiny little tail in the back. It really is an amazing shad profile bait. So much you can do with these SlayBait molds. Absolutely incredible. Let's get some close-ups of all these baits and then we'll meet you out on the boat for some rigging. Everybody, welcome back aboard the Spring Hawk. And hey, look who I found hanging out in the parking lot back here. Jacob from Into the Woods Custom Lure Works is here with us today. So wanted to go over a couple different ways on how to rig up the 3.3-inch SlayBait. First and foremost is my favorite, and that is with a line through treble head. This is the 6th Sense line through treble head. You've seen me mention this several times before, but one thing I need to mention though, because this is such a small bait, you want to make sure you're going to use either an 1/8 or a 1/4 ounce head on the line through and a smaller size treble hook, because what happens is if you get too big of a treble hook, it's just going to flop over on its side, swim sideways, and that's never any good. So make sure smaller size treble hook and a 1/8 ounce or a 1/4 ounce treble head hook and this is a great way to rig up the solid body 3.3-inch SlayBait. Now, if you're running a hook slot, the hook slot will accommodate up to a 4/0 beast hook. And here it is here, you can see rigged up with a 4/0 1/8 ounce beast hook. So you can swim it just like this. The hook slot here in the bottom of the SlayBait will allow for that pass through. So that way when the fish bites down, you get plenty of gap here. So no need to worry about hook up there on the fish. But there you go, 4/0 beast hook on the 3.3-inch SlayBait. Another great way to rig it up is on a swim jig as a trailer. This here is the 6th Sense Axle Swing swim jig. I think it's the Axle Swing swim jig. You can see the swing head there. It swings freely. But again, 4/0 hook. Run that hook right to the back of the hook slot there for the 3.3-inch SlayBait, and you got that perfect profile. The skirt is going to end right before that tail kick. And the action on this bait is really awesome. A nice subtle kick as it comes through the water. I think like the SlayBait is known for that real subtle, tight kick. So awesome in colder water. Also when fish are heavily pressured and your normal kind of slick swim or Kitech wide flappy tail isn't working, you want to tighten it up a little bit, SlayBait is the way to go. So there you go, a couple different options on how to rig the SlayBait.
Another way you guys can rig this is on a drop shot. So this is a Owner Cover Shot HD in a size 2. I'm running about a 12-inch leader to a 3/16 drop shot weight, and just slow roll this. What it'll do is the weight will sit right on top of the grass, and then your bait will come right over the top of the grass and stay in that strike zone.
There we go.
Something just bumped mine again right there.
Tiny one. We're catching giants out here. There we go. It's a baby. But you see how the bait just kind of separated from the line like that? That's the beauty of the line through treble head.
That's a little bit better fish.
There we go. Which one are you throwing? The green and purple one? Yeah.
Was that the, what'd you call it, the Junebug color?
That is the Junebug Pixie Dust, yeah. Green to purple shift there on the back. So for those of you that don't know, Jacob just bought a new piece of property out near Table Rock Lake. He did a kind of a mini walkthrough on his channel. I'll leave that video linked down below in the description, so make sure you guys all go and follow Jacob's channel. But dude, what's the plan for the new shop?
So the first thing I want to do is get the walls painted and then potentially do some epoxy flooring in there. I want to get all that done prior to moving anything in. And then if we can get all that done, then we'll start with shelving. I still got to figure out how I want to organize everything and store everything. So I'll probably do a lot of building shelves, because a lot of them that I find pre-made I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah.
So
you're better off just kind of custom building your own solutions, I bet.
Yeah, and a lot of guys in that shop walkthrough video were pointing out, because I had originally talked about storing my glitters.
Got one. Oh yeah.
It's a better one.
It's a better one. Where you going, buddy? Where you going? Easy. That's a treble hook in your mouth. Yeah, there we go. Not bad. Little guy. Barely a keeper, maybe. I'm sorry, what were you saying? Glitter?
Yeah, so I had mentioned building some shelving units or something and storing the glitter and pigment bottles right on top of the workbench in front of the window. But some people were mentioning how if it's in direct sunlight like that, it can actually warp and just deform those bottles.
Well, you also got to worry about sunlight. It'll fade too.
Yeah, so
it'll fade all your colors. So you got to make sure your coloring isn't in direct sunlight.
Yeah, so I got to figure out, because my original plan for storing all that probably isn't going to work. So I've got to figure out where I'm going to put everything, because that shop has windows around 2 complete sides of it. So that'll limit a lot of the areas that I originally had picked out.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna hopefully document everything, right? That's all gonna be on YouTube, I
That's
hope.
the plan anyway.
Everyone loves a good shop build out, I think.
Yeah. The overwhelming response from that video is people wanted to see it, and a lot of people wanted it so they could get ideas for themselves. So
Yeah, exactly. We'll drop off, and I'm like, dude, you can't. You need consistency. Just
there you go. That's a crappie.
Crappie. Crappie like the 3.3-inch SlayBait.
It's official. There you go.
Nice. In Georgia, that means the California one must be sold out.
Well, I texted you like right after I ordered it, so like I didn't even have.
Oh. Another one.
There it is. I didn't even have the shipping confirmation yet. I think this bait's seen enough.
Has that bait seen better days at this point?
Yeah. It's honestly holding up fine. It's just where the hook comes out of the back of the bait because it's such a thin body. It's just kind of ripped it out the side.
How many bait is, or how many fish is that now? 4 or 5, right?
On the bait?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. 4, I think.
All right, folks. I think that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Thanks for stopping by and checking out the channel. Make sure you head on over and check out Jacob's channel as well, Into the Woods Custom Lures. I'll leave a link to that down below in the description. So until next time, everybody, you all know who it is. Your friend on this end, Michael, out here around these Delta sloughs, reminding you to keep on chucking. I'll get back with you.